Welcome back and happy Thursday. This video will cover information surrounding Robert Schumann and is meant to be used in conjunction with the readings posted on Brightspace for your style sheet and quiz preparations. As a reminder, the style sheet for Schumann will be due on Friday. Robert Schumann was born in Zwickau, a small town near Dresden and Leipzig. His father was an author and book dealer, most famous for translating Sir Walter Scott and Lord Byron's writings into German. After reading many books in his father's shop, Robert Schumann developed an immense love for literature, which would influence his future compositions and business endeavors. He began studying piano at age 7 and began performing in public at 11. His first two compositions were published when he was just 12 years old. During the next few years, Schumann wrote poetry and created a literary society known as the Literarischer Verein, or Literary Association. He began setting some of his favorite poetry to music before enrolling in the University of Leipzig at 18. Notably, he enrolled to study law, but was uninterested in the subject and instead studied music with Friedrich Wieck. Wieck was a prominent piano teacher and had a daughter around his age named Clara, who would be Schumann's future wife. After only a year in Leipzig, he transferred to the University of Heidelberg to hopefully discover a love of law. Instead, while he was there, he heard music from Franz Schubert, Friedrich Chopin, George Friedrich Handel, Palestrina, and Victoria, and only fell in love with music further. He would soon return to Leipzig and study with Wieck in a dedicated pursuit of becoming a concert pianist, but suffered from muscle problems in his right hand. He also began struggling with bouts of depression and began to question his sanity around this time. He continued to pursue music and literature all the same. Schumann is credited in part to be one of the first musicologists, as he created the Neue Zeitschrift für Musik, or a newspaper that reviewed contemporary compositions. He frequently used the pseudonyms Florestan and Eusebius in his literary works, both names making their way into his compositions as well. He also became friends with Felix Mendelssohn, who was the conductor of the Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra. Schumann would earn a doctorate from the University of Jena to improve his standing with Wieck, who disapproved of his want to marry his daughter. In 1840, Robert Schumann finally married Clara Wieck and was overcome with an immense desire to compose songs in her honor. In 1840 alone, he wrote over 140 songs, including the song cycles Liederkreis, Frauenliebe und Leben, and Dichterliebe. This year is known as Robert Schumann's Liederjahr, or Song Year. And most of these 140 songs he composed were love songs to Clara, and also was more than half of his total compositional output. His love was so fervent for Clara that several of his songs feature the motive C-B-A-G-A, musically spelling Clara's name. In 1843, Schumann began teaching composition, score reading, and piano at the Leipzig Conservatory and began conducting the Dresden Liedertafel in 1847. In 1850, he was the municipal music director for the city of Düsseldorf. This job was a massive undertaking, requiring him to conduct an orchestra and chorus in several concerts a year. He often changed what genre he would compose in, depending on what job he had at the time. Clara was also an accomplished pianist herself, often considered more talented than Schumann was, and the couple traveled performing their works throughout Europe and Russia. In 1854, Schumann began to complain about auditory sounds that he said were strong and painful, and later in February, he attempted suicide by jumping off a bridge into the Rhine River. He was sent to an insane asylum where he lived out the final 2 years of his life and enjoyed visits from his friend and fellow composer Johannes Brahms. The two songs for this assignment can be found on the composer song list document. They are both dynamic and gorgeous, and I hope you enjoy learning about Robert Schumann. That is all for this first week's lecture materials. You made it. I hope you are enjoying this class half as much as I am enjoying researching and teaching it. As always, email me if you have any issues. Thank you all, and see you next week.